And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Moving right into satellite imagery, you can see some clouds up here lifting northward across the northern portion of the state, trailing back in toward the Yukon there, and also a band of clouds in this area. Otherwise, we have a weakening front here pushing into the western Aleutians out to the west here and way out there to the west. And over the southeast coast, looks like a few clouds moved on through there. And also up here along the North Gulf Coast, so some clearing there just south of the North Gulf Coast. Next big storm pushing northward here, well to the south yet, but will be coming northward later tonight on the chart, or for tonight. You can see the front moving up to about this position here, spreading moisture into the Queen Charlotte Islands. Looks like a pretty windy night tonight for the southeast coast, but dry. Snow showers diminish, or I should say rain and snow showers diminish along the North Gulf Coast, and then look for a cloudy night with areas of light snow showers, I should say a mostly cloudy night, with some scattered to light snow showers from the Alaska Range into the Susitna Valley, maybe Cook Inlet, Kenai Peninsula, and Prince William Sound. Same sort of pattern up here to the north and northwest. And out to the west, not a lot going on here for the eastern Aleutians. Light winds, some clearing. Same thing for the eastern Bering Sea, all the way up to St. Lawrence Island. This front out here continues to weaken with just some light precipitation trying to push into the Adak-Atka area. And for tomorrow, a new low develops along that frontal boundary, and that should kick that thing a little farther to the east there, but still not reaching Nikolsky and the eastern Aleutian areas there, but keeping Adak and Atka on the wet side. And northeast flow here, keeping this moisture out to the west, and mostly clear skies. Nunivak Island down to the Alaska Peninsula, dry conditions, St. Lawrence Island, winds not too bad on the light side. Much lighter winds now for the Brooks, well, actually the Brooks Range passes up to the Arctic coast. Even the interior looking at winds dropping off. Still looking at variably cloudy skies with some snow shower action along the Alaska Range. And this front, as it pushes northward, will bring increasing wind and rain into Kodiak Island, eventually spreading up toward up toward the southern Kenai Peninsula area. It should be a dry day for the North Gulf Coast, Copper River Basin, with a few sunbreaks there and even more of that condition up to the north. And look for precipitation and wind to precipitation to try to push in to the southern southeast coast tomorrow, with pretty windy conditions here all across the Panhandle. And for the day on Sunday, that front kind of weakens or rotates west-northwestward here, bringing some rain and snow up into the Copper River Basin, with mostly rain along the North Gulf Coast, Prince William Sound. Southern eastern Kenai Peninsula, the usual pattern there in southeast flow coming off the Gulf, all the way down to Kodiak Island. Scattered showers, mostly cloudy skies, southeast coast, and a fair amount of clearing. A very nice day coming up Sunday for the areas north and west of the Alaska Range. Not too bad for the Susitna Valley and Cook Inlet as well, as it looks like most of this moisture will stay to the west. Some snow showers, Koyukuk Valley up to the Arctic coast, and then back in toward the northwest coast due to that low there west of Wainwright. Out to the Bering Sea here, not a lot of change. Continued east-northeast flow here over the central and eastern Bering Sea. A dry day for the Aleutians there, maybe a few isolated showers over the Fox Islands there, but this low staying out to the west there. But that trough swinging some moisture into the Pribilof Islands. And now going to Monday, first day of the week, first day of the work week. Dry northeast flow here for the Bering Sea, a little breezy, but nothing too strong, but lighter winds and wetter conditions for the Aleutians here, mostly in the form of rain, extending up in toward Kodiak Island. This front pushing more moisture up to the North Gulf Coast for rain and snow there. Kind of a showery condition in the northern Panhandle, conditions dry down to the south with increasing clearing toward Dixon Entrance. Mostly clear here south of the Brooks Range from the Yukon Flats westward to the Seward Peninsula into St. Lawrence Island, and dry for the Yukon-Kuskokwim Delta area as well. Moving on to the lows tonight, teens and 20s for the Panhandle, down to around 0, the Copper River Basin, and mostly in the teens, south central Alaska, lower 30s Kodiak Island, and 5 to 15 for Bristol Bay. Highs for the afternoon Saturday, mid-teens in the Copper River Basin, upper 20s to mid-30s, south central Alaska, near 40 for Kodiak Island, And in the 20s mostly for Bristol Bay, the southeast coast, upper 20s, lower 30s north, lower 40s, Sitka down across Prince of Wales Island. And the lows the following morning in the 30s for the coastal areas of the Panhandle, otherwise 20s more to the north and east. About 5 there in the Copper River Basin and upper 20s, Prince William Sound. 15 to 25, South Central Alaska. Upper 30s for Kodiak Island. Bristol Bay looking not too bad, 15 to 23. And then for the highs on Sunday afternoon, 15 to 20 in the Copper River Basin. Into the lower 30s now for the Susitna Valley, as well as the Kenai Peninsula with temperatures pushing up toward 40 for Seward and Homer, Kodiak. And in the 30s for Bristol Bay, except 27 around Dillingham. And for the southeast coast, highs in the 30s to lower 40s. Up to the north tonight here, generally below zero everywhere tonight from St. Lawrence Island east and north. And for the highs tomorrow, single numbers out here to the west, actually 0 to 5. But Fairbanks area, Delta Junction, 15 to in the lower to mid-teens over toward Eagle. And then the lows the following morning, right around 0 for the Fairbanks area, and then colder to the west, colder to the north. In other words, below 0 everywhere else. And then highs back into the teens for the mid and upper Tanana Valley, and single numbers here over the northeast interior, staying below 0 for the north slope and the Arctic coast, as well as the northwest part of the state, and a little above 0 down to the south. Out west, mid-20s for the Pribilofs tonight, 30s for the Aleutians, and highs coming up from 0 to 5 for the southwest coast, looking at highs 10 to 15 there tomorrow, near 30 for the Pribilofs, and upper 30s to near 40 for the Aleutians. And then the lows for Sunday morning, mid-20s, Pribilofs, mid-30s, central Aleutians, upper 20s to near 30 for the Alaska Peninsula, followed by highs upper 30s to near 40 for the Peninsula. Same thing for the eastern Aleutians, same thing for the central Aleutians, as well as Shimian at 2, and trying to crack freezing for the Pribilofs.